That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Everson Griffin in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. To throw is Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Play fake. Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Sacked there by Nick Perry, the outside linebacker.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Lions will take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Stafford now to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field.
And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Prater for the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first two drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
Cousins now. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
3rd down and 8 yards to go.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here's Ryan Quigley now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Here's Hill on the return. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Stafford. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Stafford. Flush to his right. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16. From the red zone now, Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script play.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick, and his guys... set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. After the interception, here's Stafford. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Nick Perry picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after it.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Perry able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Hey, we're going Mike 40, Mike 40. Check the out, check the out, check the out. Keystone, travel. Ready.
Looking to throw. Costello lets it fly for Thielen. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
That one good for 26 and a 1st down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
On 2nd and goal, Stafford stepping up, and he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Matthew Stafford in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the rout is on here in this 1st half. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Typically down in the 1st half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. 1st half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this 1st half of play. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the 2nd half is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire...
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Johnson was the intended receiver. On first down, Costello. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw again, Costello. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Costello under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. 2nd down and inches. And just a small glimpse there as to what. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He gets it left side to Johnson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. Stafford now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. A little bit of space there for the 1st down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Again, it's Johnson. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. On 1st and 10, Costello flushed out right. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands, but really
and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action, Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Stafford. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 16 yards, a 1st down. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. A gain of 3, 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw, Stafford. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, Costello. And a costly turnover there as the ball will be spotted 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. And that pick just sets them up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off inside the 5. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run it.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. It's a foot race. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now that turnover might just about do it here. Fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
You're exactly right. They played smart, a couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Mike 7. Mike 4. Hey, Haywood. Here we go. Mike 54. Mike 50.
Now on 2nd and 13. Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Everson Griffin able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Target. Shift.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild, and at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it, but you know every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Topper!
2nd and 4. And Rudolph has it left side. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one a first down pickup of 8.
218, chop.
Throwing on first down. Costello. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Check 50. Check General West.
Throwing again. Costello. Buying time to his left. And it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
6-6, pull it high. Ready?
On first down, Costello escaping the pressure right. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. On first and 10, Costello. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Danielle Hunter picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
On second down, it's Johnson. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Throwing on third down, Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. Oh, but this is going to backfire as it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Back to the air on second down. Costello, flush to his right. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that will shave one more off this lead. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Set! 20! 53! Ready! Get ready! Get ready! Get ready! Hey, give me a radar. Smooth!
Stafford going to throw it. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
To throw again. Stafford. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. The Lions on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Watch out. 54.
Throwing at Stafford. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
It's 4th down.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Prater for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now.
36, Vikings 18. Matt Prater set to kick off.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. Scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for the Lions, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.